first it was about me allegedly misrepresenting his views, then all of a sudden it's about me not being a faculty member. I'm not sure what he meant by that, other than to allude to the fact that I don't have a PhD. Of course, Ta-Nehisi Coates didn't even finish undergrad, but I assume Kendi wouldn't dismiss him for that reason. In any event, it should be trivially easy to show an example of me misrepresenting him since I do it consistently and constantly, but he hasn't come up with a single example, because I haven't misrepresented him at all. His ideas are so explicitly radical that I'm not even tempted to misrepresent them. For example, he's written in Politico and the Washington Post that there should be a federal agency composed of anti-racist experts that have the power to reject any local, state, or federal law that they deem to be racist. Really think about that. Imagine the town you live in wants to change some local law. I don't know, raise or lower property taxes or something. In Kendi's America, this local decision would have to be pre-cleared by a panel of federal bureaucrats to ensure that it doesn't have a disparate impact on people of color. And the folks making this decision would be people like Kendi, people who have a frankly insane definition of the word racist. Kendi said on Ezra Klein's podcast that he considers cutting the capital gains tax to be racist because there's a racial disproportion in who would benefit. For Kendi, it doesn't matter if a policy clearly benefits the entire nation, black people included. If it benefits white people slightly more, then it's racist. So imagine a group of people with that sort of definition of racism who have the power to reject any local, state, or federal policy in the entire nation and who can't be fired, even by the president. So they're completely unaccountable to you. There's nothing you can do to check their excesses. That would be far more powerful than the Supreme Court. He has said that he wants all of this explicitly. And if you doubt this, just read his article called Pass an Anti-Racist Constitutional Amendment on Politico.com. So this is the mind that Jack has endorsed with a $10 million donation. Although I have to think that many of the people nominally endorsing him are too smart not to notice how strange and simplistic and totalitarian his worldview is. But they're afraid to say it, because the culture of American elite spaces right now has cemented a taboo against criticizing any idea that successfully brands itself as anti-racist. Societies often form sacred spaces in which criticism is socially punished to such an extent that almost nobody is willing to speak up. And religion has historically been the prime example of this, and still is in many places in the world. But in American elite culture, by which I mean universities, corporations, Silicon Valley, and major social media platforms, the main taboo that exists now is against criticizing any aspect of so-called anti-racism. That's the deepest ideological taboo that exists in the era we happen to be living in. And just like previous societies have walked into horrible ideas and policies as a result of taboos on criticizing religion, we risk walking into terrible ideas and policies as a result of the taboo on criticizing anti-racist dogmas. Today I saw an article on OregonLive.com which said that the Oregon State Committee in charge of determining who gets the COVID-19 vaccine first is on the verge of recommending that people of color get the vaccine before people with underlying conditions. Yet having an underlying condition is a far better measure of who needs the vaccine, which means prioritizing people of color will certainly lead to more deaths, perhaps even more deaths of people of color. This decision hasn't been made yet at the time I'm recording this, and it may yet reverse. I certainly hope it does. But the mere fact that the people in charge of this decision could decide in a way that is logically guaranteed to kill more people is terrifying. This is the kind of bad policy we could walk into by having a taboo around criticizing anti-racism and the notion of racial equity.